Welcome to the Shoot It Straight podcast.
Welcome to the show.
How are you?
Oh, thank you for asking. I'm well. How are you? I don't think you've ever asked me before.
I think I've one time asked you.
I don't think you've ever asked me in my entire life how I am.
Oh, shut up. Seriously?
That might be the nicest thing you've ever asked me.
I have asked you how are you before. That is so silly. You're obnoxious. Does everyone know that we're husband and wife? I'm assuming they do. We share a last name.
I mean, you never know. I mean, your Instagram name is still Erika Elko, so
I like it like that.
I do like it like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps that alive too, because my name was pretty cool.
Yeah, your name was cool. I even encourage you to keep it if you wanted to.
I know, but do you like that we have the same last name?
I mean, our dog has the same last name, so I don't want people to get confused at the vet when you pick him up. So I think it just makes everything easier.
I mean, the thing is like, names are so funny, but like people call you what they want to call you anyway, you know? Like before I officially changed my name, people started calling me Miss Wescott. Like it's just, so it's like whatever.
Wouldn't it be Mrs. Wescott?
Mrs. Wescott, yes.
Yeah.
I think you can be Ms. is like neutral. It's the neutral version.
Well, in Oklahoma,
Miss is MISS is single. MS is Ms.
Well, in Oklahoma, we just say ma'am.
And then I've been called ma'am a lot recently. That's been a thing recently.
You're
I think
in Oklahoma.
you hit a certain, yeah. And then people are definitely polite. Like it's not. I know that they don't mean it, but it's like it does just sound like old. It's bizarre.
I mean, I've called older men like sir, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not a sir." Like, I'm like, I want to be called sir if I don't know who you are.
Yeah, not like bro or dude or something super informal. Like it's fine. It's polite. Usually it's at a restaurant or something like that. Or
yeah, if you don't know my name, like, and if I'm the customer, I prefer to be called sir.
Okay, well, I love that for you. I think there can be a better word for ladies though. Like, hey,
Madam.
Yes.
Oh, you like madam better?
Yes, it's like madame.
It kind of sounds like French or something.
Well, it's great, ma'am.
You see, ma'am. I mean, it's what we use here.
Ma'am, it's fine. I'm neutral about it. I'm totally neutral about it. Anyway.
Does this lead into our topic about new things?
Maybe. Today's topic is a fun one. I love this topic. I think it's important because I think we've both lived a few different lives in each of our lives. And so our topic today is basically what worked for you then may or may not be the best thing for right now.
Yeah, we definitely have two different ways to talk about this. So I like how you're starting it, and then I'll tell my story about why I want to talk about this.
Yeah, and I think that's great. I think it'll be a good little discussion. I'm curious to hear your thoughts too. But so I mean, a lot of people, and I think I always kind of come at it from a nutrition angle, but definitely fitness related too. But we work with a lot of people that, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. And oftentimes we're comparing our 40-year-old self to our 20-year-old self, or even like earlier than that. Like, sometimes it's high school. And I get why we all do that, right? We all remember the good old days. Like, I get it. Like, again, this is something now that we're like in our mid 30s or later 30s.
Whatever.
It's wild to think like 15 years ago, it's like we were 21 or however old, and it was like truly like a lifetime ago. And I think people come at their training and their approach to dieting and things like that with like something that maybe worked for them back then, thinking that it's going to work for them now. And so what this looks like in real life is just like, when I was 22, all I had to do was like not drink soda for a few weeks, and I lost 15 pounds. Like something to that effect is like where I come at it from. And it's like, all right, well, like that worked for you back then, maybe for like a multitude of different reasons, right? Like for one, like you maybe were a lot more active back then. And a lot of times too, people's lives are different when they're adults and have jobs and multiple kids. And so maybe their ability to train 6 days a week and run 10 miles every morning back when they were 22 or 25 or even 30 no longer is working for them in the life that they're living in now. But we oftentimes always go back to, well, I did that thing one time and it really, really worked. And it's like, Sure, maybe it did work, but like again, you're in the place that you're in right now, be it 20, 30, 40 pounds heavier, be it that you don't work out at all and don't do exercise. And so I always encourage people to like meet themselves where they're at and really like try so hard to remove, and it's hard, but like remove yourself from the idea that just because something 20 years ago or even 10 years ago or even a couple years ago worked, quote unquote, for you doesn't mean that it's going to work for you right now. And the other side to that is like more around like maybe it was a type of diet that somebody, well, I did keto and I lost 10 pounds. And it's like, but now where are you at now? Like that was even if it was a year ago, that's cute. But like now you're back to where you started or worse. So like that is no longer working for you. It doesn't work because I like to define things working as something that you can truly be able to do for the rest of your life, generally speaking, like a sustainable approach to your life. And it just kind of all goes back to like, what do you want your lifestyle to look like? Meet yourself where you're at now, not where you were with zero responsibilities in high school. Where are you at now in your life and what's possible for you? And being open to like really shift that mindset around your training, your food, your health, etc.
I like it.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So my viewpoint on this particular topic is from, we have our program, Lift Heavy, Swing Fast, and it's different. It's not a bodybuilding program. It's not a CrossFit program. It's not a HIIT workout.
There's nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. So my reason for wanting to talk about this is just real life things that are happening. So people that maybe they just do a trial of my program. Maybe there are members that are doing it, and after a few weeks they ask like, hey, can I add in more bicep curls? Or can I swap this finisher to do like a bunch of snatches or something? That's what came up recently. I want to do like a snatch finisher or something like a CrossFit, wear one of those like Fran or something like that at the end, not Fran, Isabel, whatever, where they do like 30 snatches for time or something like that. And so my thing was, okay, guys, let's think about this for a second. You started this new program because you obviously wanted to change from your old program.
Because the other thing wasn't working for them.
The other
for
thing
whatever reason.
The other thing wasn't working for you anymore. It wasn't getting you to your goals. Maybe you didn't like it. You weren't adhering to it. Whatever the reason is, there could be a million of them. You decided to make a change. Now you've jumped into this new program, and now you're wanting to bring things that from the past that you left, right? Now you're wanting to bring that into your new program. And then if you keep doing that over time, you're just going to bring a little bit more back in and a little bit more. Then all of a sudden, whereas it's just going to be the same old program again that you left, that you determined was not getting you results. And I use this analogy on my Instagram post, and I'm going to use it again here because I love it and I love the show. And I just want to reference the show too because it's fun. So in the show Yellowstone.
Oh, God.
There is a scene, so if you guys have watched it, where Casey Dutton and his son are sitting in town and they're eating ice cream. And the town's all new now because like all these people have moved in from California and they're in Montana. And his son's like, Dad, was this ice cream store here when you were a kid? He's like, no, son, the transplants like built this ice cream store. And he's like, well, what's a transplant? And he's like, it's someone that came from another city, moved here, and now they're bringing all the stuff in from their old city to make it like the one they just left. And his son's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So it's the same thing here. Like you're trying to just bring in your old city into the new one and turn it into the one you just left.
That's a great analogy.
But remember, you left for a reason. And you got to remember that. I mean, I think the same thing can happen like in all things of your life, right? Like whether it's your diet, whether it's a relationship that you decided to cut off and then you go back to it. Like all these things, like you left it, just remember, maybe write it down. I don't know. And just be like, hey, I need to give this new thing a chance. Because all these people that ask me this usually are either just on doing the trial, so they haven't even done like a full 7 days of the program, or they're very early on into it. Because once people have been doing it for a long time, they realize that maybe this little goal they want, maybe it's they want bigger arms, or maybe they wanted to do to get the same stimulus as that they got in their CrossFit workout, which I throw some of that stuff in there anyways. That okay, after I try this and do what he's asking me to do and what the program is describing, I'm getting what I want out of it. I'm getting the bigger arms. I'm getting the intensity that I used to have in my CrossFit workout. I put it all in there, right? I probably do 2 sets of bicep curls a week because I put them in there like usually on like the Friday or Saturday workouts, and I'll do like maybe it's probably like less than 30 total curls a week that I do, and I have pretty good size arms, and people start to realize that like once they start doing heavy pull-ups and rows and stuff like that, they're gonna get the size they want. They do a Tabata finisher, they got the intensity they want. So give the new thing a chance. You left the old thing for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Nailed it. I love that analogy. I understand that this is a hard thing for people to grasp. I understand the mindset around it. I understand wanting to chase the high. I think a lot of it does come from that. Like CrossFitters and endurance athletes get this type of like cortisol, adrenaline combo rush. And it feels good always after the fact because it always sucks during. And so when you're not getting that high, I don't know how else to describe it truly because I think it is a little bit like that. You're thinking in your mind, well, I didn't die in my pool of sweat, so it's just not the same. But we have to remember that, like, to your point, our program is different than any other program out there for a fucking reason because we're not giving people what they want necessarily. It's what they need to get their results. And we need to decondition people, and it's the hardest thing to be in this industry. I think this is one of the hardest things about being in this industry and what we're trying to do. The easy thing for us to do is giving people what they want. That's what the majority of programs out there do. Here's some bullshit program that didn't really take a lot of thought. It's hard. It mimics other CrossFit workouts. It makes you sweat. It makes you complain to your friends, but like in a friendly way because it's like everyone's camaraderie of dying through a workout and being sore for 7 days later. And then for what? Like you did switch your program for a reason. You're probably fatigued as fuck. You're probably injured or sore all the time and tired of being sore. And you're never fully recovering. So you're not getting your results. Your muscles are never building themselves because they're literally being broken down. People need to understand that how this works. It's exercise science for a reason. And like, no, more doesn't mean better. You can't just do a recipe to make a cake and add more and more and more flour because that's what it calls for. So more is better. Like there is a formula. And that's what people really need to realize is they're paying for something for a reason as well. Like there is a reason that this is a paid for service because it takes work and effort to build a really good program. And also you're investing your own resources and time and money into buying something. You should follow it. There's nothing worse than when someone hires us as a coach or a trainer too and like doesn't take on the advice. It blows my mind, quite frankly. It's like, if you're going to hire someone to coach you through something, no matter what it is, listen to them. Listen to them. Because yeah, like, God, throwing a 30 snatch, whatever finisher on the back of a workout, that could totally ruin the whole workout, to be quite honest with you. You've maybe ruined that workout, but maybe you didn't ruin that workout. Maybe you've wrecked yourself though for the rest of the week to have a better effective workout. No, now I can no longer do my pull-ups because I'm literally smoked, or I tweaked my shoulder and I literally now can do 0 overhead things for 4 weeks. These things are what get people out of the game and out of getting results because it's stop, start, or it's like, well, I gave it 7 days, so didn't work for me. Bro, give it like, that's why, I mean, our 7-day free trial, it's there for you. But listen, like, you need to buy it too. Like, you have to buy the program because you need to give yourself a few weeks. You need to give yourself 4 solid weeks and do the rest days as prescribed and then evaluate, like, and be honest with yourself.
Yeah. And that's another way people change it up too, is they skip the rest days.
Right.
And then you're defeating the purpose too, because I've told our athletes, and we do, I do a weekly Facebook Live, and if I see that, I don't pry into people and give them a hard time, like, hey, you skipped ahead like 5 workouts. Like, there's no way it's, today's, as we were recording this, it's Saturday, and there's someone on there that's already done the Thursday workout next week, so it's like, or Thursday's a rest day, but they've already checked in, they've already done all those workouts. But I don't DM that person and say, hey, slow down, do whatever you want. I'm not here to, you paid for the program, you can use it however you want. But the best way to use it is how I wrote it, because I tell them, hey, I love the gym. Like, if we could work out every day and get max results, I would have a program out there that is a 7-day-a-week program. I would ride it because people would do it. And if it got you max results, I would have invented it by now, or someone else would have. But they don't exist because that's just not how it works. And so follow it as written. Don't decide that you want to add on more because you're used to this crazy fatigue that you're used to from doing CrossFit 6 days a week. Like that's just not going to get you the results we're looking for. So don't change it that way either. Try the new thing as prescribed.
And for people that want to go into the gym, which I get that too, like maybe that's your hour a day away from like your kids or whatever. Like, I mean, seriously, or it's just your way to decompress. Like we hear that a lot from people, which I sometimes think is an excuse. Sometimes it can be valid. I 100% agree that going to the gym is a good way to blow off steam, but sometimes I think it's like a little bit of a crutch. Go go do your recovery there. That's a great day. I do that, especially in the winter when it's like there's just nothing to do. There's nothing going on. It's like, all right, I'm going to go spend an hour, catch up on emails, and walk on the treadmill, just be in a different space because I like to be in the gym environment. Mm-hmm. I want to do my like band work and my mobility. Like you can still go to the gym if that makes you feel great or like that's something that you're trying to break the habit of needing to go and do. I think that's like there's plenty of things to go do at the gym that don't involve tearing your body apart or skipping ahead workouts and doing, 2 weeks in one or whatever. Yeah. So that's just like a little bit of a tip for people that maybe like are truly like they want to scale back, but maybe they're struggling with it. But I always tell people too, like start small. Like we just had a guy in the group that I was kind of having a conversation with in our Facebook group about like he was like struggling with rest days or whatever. And I'm like, dude, give it just like a couple, like by week 2, you're going to start to like be like bought in because your workouts themselves are going to be so much better. You're going to learn what a good workout feels like and not just mailing it in and checking off the box. You're going to be like, whoa, like rest days are hard and make you feel a little anxious or whatever. And maybe you feel sore and like it's like rest days sometimes don't feel the best. But oh my God, when you get into the gym the next day or it's been a couple days, it's like, oh, I feel fucking rested and recovered and nourished and I've fed myself and I'm ready to rock and roll and my workouts crush.
Yeah. And I think there's an element too where you got comfortable doing whatever it was the certain way.
Yeah.
Right? Like
you adapt. Your bodies adapt.
Yeah, of course you want to like not do let's say at the end of the workout I put a lateral lunge. And you're like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather do bicep. Can I do bicep curls instead? Because like that's more comfortable. Like, get yourself and then maybe it could be the other thing too. Like maybe you have something going on where you kind of were relying on doing all these workouts to escape something else, like, and it kind of, you're uncomfortable doing the workout, but it's like just something, that's going to help you like be better at this, cause you're like relying on it, maybe it's your crutch in a way to like just do all these workouts to escape something that can help too. Like try it all.
Yes.
Give it a chance. Like if you're uncomfortable not working out cause you need a rest day, then there's something you probably need to unpack there.
Yes.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of that goes on. Yeah. And, you do get addicted. I like in CrossFit, I used to call it breathing fire. Like sometimes at the end of a workout, like you're literally like coughing and like your lungs are on fire and you do get a high from that. Like, so, and you kind of just found comfort in that, but you need to find that, we're swapping out like in lift heavy swing fast, we're swapping out like crazy high intensity for more high intensity, like in a jump or something like plyometric, that's a really high intensity, but it's not high volume. So you don't feel this like crazy fatigue after it. Yes. And so you've got to learn to channel all this, like basically just all this effort you put into just gassing yourself out into hammering the gas for just like one explosive movement at a time. So you just got to, it's a mind switch. It's a different train of thought, like, and it's a different way of training, but it's going to give you a different and hopefully like the type of performance that you wanted because you decided to make that change.
Yes. 100%. Totally agree. We've both gone through different transitions of types of training ourselves. And I think like when you get to that point, it's so much better, guys. Like really it is. And the added value of just more flexibility in your life, not having to be like almost like a slave to the gym. I think it can sometimes feel like that. Well, I have to because it's what I do type of mindset. And it's like, no, now you have that extra 90 minutes in your day to like get some housework done or spend time with your family or like whatever, catch up on tasks that you don't get to have extra time for or meditate, read, like fill that space with something that maybe you can, I think it's better than just sitting around twiddling your thumbs. That's always hard, right? take away something, you should fill it up with something else to help you kind of go through the process.
Yeah, and like so we've done it all. I have worked out 7 days a week before. And I think subconsciously you also like don't push yourself as hard.
Totally.
Right? Like if you know if you know that you're going to turn around and come do this again tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, you don't give it 100%. Fact. Like there's maybe you think you do, but I guarantee subconsciously you're holding something back. 'Cause you're like, oh shit, like I don't want to be too destroyed. I got to come back and do this again tomorrow. So we're giving you those rest days in our program because I do want you dropping the hammer on these workouts because you're going to get a full day of recovery afterwards on some of them.
Yes.
On most of them.
Yes. Give yourself that chance. It's so awesome when you learn how to like really turn it up a notch in your workouts. It's like when we train at Elevate and people that would go 5 or 6 days a week, and I was like in really good shape and doing like 2. Like, how do you do a workout like this? A very high intensity workout, 60 full minutes, multiple days a week. Like, what are you like? There's just no way.
Yeah.
That you're conditioned to train like this.
Yeah, only a couple of freaks of nature are
totally the guys that
close.
are competing for sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna those guys. Yes, they can do that, but that's their level of athlete. That's truly like professional level as far as that's concerned. But most people, again, like with the goals that people have and wanting to look good, feel better, all the things, like you can do so much with doing less. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And it's not like our program is less. There's still a lot to do. You're still going to have a full plate of like when you do the workout, it's a full meal of a workout there. Well, yes. You just get to enjoy the rest day afterwards.
Yes. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like you want the rest day. That's almost another way of saying it. You know, I've coached people in that way too, where I'm like, you should be training your training days to where you're looking forward to your rest days. Like it turns into that. At first it might be uncomfortable, but like you should be like, oh man, yes, like I need this rest day because you did the work. You pushed yourself hard. You lifted heavy. Like you did the things. And now you get to like let your body like reap the benefits and you feel it in your body and maybe it's tight and maybe it's sore and like that's good. Feed your body, give yourself some protein, recover, active recovery with walking, whatever. You will immediately within a few weeks start to see your body like literally change and your workouts change. Mm-hmm. Full stop.
Yep.
So with that, we challenge y'all out there that love to go work out because we love to work out too. Give your body the rest that it needs. Learn to maybe change your way of thinking. Know that things that you once did a certain way might not be working for you anymore. And that's okay. I think that's just part of life. That's how it works. We like all learn sometimes the hard way. It's like you go out when you're 20 years old in college and you can drink 5 days a week and do the things and wake up and go to work. And it's like, can we do those types of things now? Nope, because things are different. So approach life differently. Be cool with different phases and seasons of life. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
I like it. I think that'll wrap it up.
I think that'll wrap it up. You guys can find us codywescottgolf.com/links for access to all of our programs. Of course, we've got free trials. We've got some free downloads of our other standalone programs, newsletter signups, codywescottgolf.com/links for all of the good stuff.
And thank you.
Bye.